it's Nicole again, and today I wanted to show you how I create this really beautiful watercolor card. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about how I do my watercoloring, so I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to share. So I'm going to be using the new set Party Animal along with its coordinating dies, and one of my favorite standalone dies, the Puffy Cloud Borders. I think these are so fun, and if you've been following along on all the cards that I've been making, you'll notice that I use those a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and start off here by taking a piece of Tim Holtz watercolor cardstock, and I'm also going to be taking some of this low-tack Scotch tape, but I'm also going to be taking off some of the tack with my fingers because I absolutely don't want any of this paper to rip when I take this tape off. So I'm just going to go ahead and create kind of a thick border around the cardstock here. That's kind of like the thing I've been doing lately because I started off doing this technique with a really thin border, but now I just kind of like the look of the thicker border. So I'm going to be taking these colors that I already chose. I have Salty Ocean, Peacock Feathers, Chipped Sapphire, and Tumbled Glass, and I'm just going to go ahead and smear those onto my work surface here. It's a craft mat that I purchased at Michael's. Just going to add some water. And then I have a cup of water over here off to the side, right there. So I'm just going to go ahead and start off by applying a wash. So I'm just putting water onto the cardstock. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start taking any of the colors that I want to use, and I'm just going to apply them to the paper. And you can see here that because I already started with a wash, the color just starts mixing right away. And at first when I started doing watercoloring, I was really serious about it, and I tried really hard to get like a perfect watercolor piece every single time. And then I would find that when I would try to do that and I would get really serious about it, that it wouldn't come out that great, and I didn't really like the results. So I just said, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and have fun with it. I'm not going to care about, you know, how it looks or anything like that. Just, you know, be free with it. And I find that when I do that, the way I'm doing here, it comes out a lot better, and when I don't stress out about it, it's just a lot more fun. So what I like to do is go ahead and, like I did here, I did the wash, and then I started adding different colors and things like that, mixing them, and not really caring if all the colors blended into one color. And then I took my heat tool, and then I set that so that it could dry, and I could get all these little water spots and things like that. And then what I'm doing now is I'm coming in with a little bit more water and color, and I'm just going to go ahead and start layering and layering different colors and just having fun with it. What I'm doing here at the top is I'm creating what some watercolorists call transparencies, and that's when, well, it's basically like transparent, so you get like really deep colors, but with the transparency you get really, really light colors, and it looks like, I don't know, I just think it looks really pretty, and that's something that I really like to do now. And when you're getting a transparency, all you have to do is get the brush really, really wet so that it kind of thins out the color, and then you end up with something really light, like I have here at the top. And then I'm going to go ahead and set that too here with the heat gun. I do move my heat gun around a lot, but it's because I don't want to have any of the heat concentrated in one area. I want to kind of spread it around and make sure that the paper doesn't warp, because it tends to do that if you stay in one area with the heat, because this heat gun gets really hot. Okay, so that looks dry. Next, what I want to do is I want to take one of the darker colors, which is Chipped Sapphire. It's a really dark blue. It's really pretty. And I'm just going to go ahead and flick the end of the paintbrush that I have here. I'm using a different one. The bristles on this brush are a little bit more stiff, so it's kind of like a toothbrush. So you could even use an old toothbrush if you wanted to for this technique. And now I'm just going to go ahead and set that as well until it's completely dry. And I just love the way this looks, especially with these colors. And if you wanted to create like an ocean scene or a beach scene or anything with water, or with the new Lawn Fawn mini stamp set, like So Jelly, that one is so cute. And I made a card with this technique and that stamp set, and I thought it would just be fun to share how I created it. So off camera, I went ahead and removed all the adhesive, and I'm going to go ahead and start with my stamping. Now this is one of my favorite sets. This is so cute, and like every time Lawn Fawn comes out with their new sets, I'm just like in awe because they keep getting cuter and cuter, and it's awesome. Like all the stuff that they come out with, I just love it. So I'm gonna take this little guy here. I think it's a deer, but I mean I don't care what it is. It's just really cute. So I'm gonna go ahead and stamp that out, and I'm gonna take this little balloon here, just so I can put that in his hand. And what I love about this set is that it comes with so many different elements and pictures and things that, you know, you could use to create so many adorable cards and projects and cupcake toppers and tags and anything that you could think of. So, I mean, this set is just amazing. I just really love it. So I went ahead and stamped out this hat, but if you notice that I actually didn't use it on the card. But what I like to do when I'm creating is I'll stamp out like a bunch of different elements and just use, you know, whatever I feel like, or I won't use what doesn't work and things like that. So I don't know, it's just fun to stamp out a bunch of stuff. And these little guys are so cute, the little birds. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and start coloring. So I'll just let you watch that. I don't know why with the birds I'm just super obsessed with coloring them this way. I think since like the beginning of my Lawn Fawn adventure, I've always been coloring the birds this way, exactly the same, and I don't know, I think they just look really cute like this. And I can't imagine them in any other color either. It's just I always imagine them like little baby bluebirds. You can see me testing out all the colors here. Unfortunately, I'm not one of those crafters who really sits down and thinks about the colors they want to use on the critters or on any of the images. But I don't know, sometimes I just like to go with the flow and, you know, just look at the colors I have in front of me and just have fun. I don't really do that much planning. I kind of just, you know, think in my head what colors would go, what colors would look good, and things like that. So that's why you can see me here pausing for a few seconds to decide what I want to do. I wish I was more of a planner though, but I'm not. And then lately, I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of my images have been kind of flat like this. Like I don't add a lot of depth with different colors and blending the markers together, but it's not because I don't like to do it, it's just that a lot of my colors have run out, and then I get really lazy to buy the refills, and the refills are kind of expensive, so I just take my time on them, and then I'm just like, oh, I'll just make them all like solid colors like this. But I think it's cute anyway, because to me it looks a little bit more cartoony, so I really like it. It just works for me. Okay, now all the coloring's done, so I'm just going to go ahead and take the coordinating dies, and I'm going to go ahead and start lining them up here, and then I'm going to cut them out off camera using my Cuttlebug. And I think it's time for me to get some new Cuttlebug plates, but I just keep going with them until I'm going to keep using them until it breaks or until it doesn't work anymore. Just a really cheap crafter, I think. I'm just going to run that through one more time. And there they are, super, super cute. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and take a piece of vellum and I'm gonna measure it out to my card here. I just want like the clouds to be on the bottom of the card. I don't know, I just think that's really cute. So I'm just cutting out a piece here that'll fit over the front, and I'm gonna go ahead and take the puffy cloud die here, the stitched puffy cloud die, and I'm gonna go ahead and run that through. It didn't cut all the way, but that's okay because I could just take a pair of scissors and just cut off the remaining pieces here, and that's it. Then I could just go ahead and place this over my card exactly where I want it. Just fold these flaps back, and then I'm going to take my bone folder and just give those a really good crease. And then it'll go right over just like that. Okay, and then here I'm trying to decide which sentiment I want to use. I know it's going to be a birthday card, but I just wanted to check here and see all of my options. So I went ahead and went with Let's Party. And I think these birds look so cute right here on the sides. So I was like, oh, I don't know, should I put it on or not? Actually, now that I see the hat, I think I should have put it on because it looks really cute. Now I'm regretting not putting it on, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm stamping the sentiment in Versamark ink. It's a sticky ink that's perfect for heat embossing and using embossing powders like I'm going to use here. Just a basic white. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside, take my heat tool and just set that. And I think that looks really great. I think if I tried to do the white embossing directly onto the watercolor piece, it would kind of get lost. At least that's what I think. So what I like about using the vellum is that it kind of diffuses the background a little bit, and then when I heat emboss on top of the vellum, it just, for some reason, makes it pop out a little bit more, and I think that looks really great. And then you have this subtle like cloud shape in the background, or on another card I used the wave border die, and that was just a really subtle look, and I just think that looks awesome. So I really like doing that. So now I'm just taking some 3D adhesive foam, and I'm going to go ahead and prop these little images up just like that. Then I'm just going to apply some adhesive using my ATG gun so that I can permanently adhere this piece to the card panel. It's a little crooked, so I'm just going to go ahead and readjust that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and start adding the images. I think this looks so great. I love the warm browns and how they mix with the blues and, you know, the little blue birds. I think these colors look really great together. So for this piece, at the end of the balloon, I wanted to use some actual adhesive glue, because it's going to be the balloon part is going to be propped up on the 3D foam, and then I wanted the little deer, to look like it was holding it, so I wanted to glue that down. And then I went ahead and added the little present, and then I'm taking the sky lawn trimmings here, and I'm just going to go ahead and wrap this around the panel and then tie a little bow. And I think that's a really fun finishing touch. I just love using any of the Lawn Fawn trimmings. I love all the colors that they come out with, and I think that they're really fun to use on all different types of projects. I think it's so funny how the only way that I could successfully create a bow is if I do it upside down. I don't know why. It's just so weird. I'm just gonna snip off the ends here. Just make little short tails and kind of curl them a little bit. Just like that. So off camera I went ahead and created the card base. It's a top folding card, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply the adhesive directly to the card base, and I'm going to take the panel and then just put that over on top just like that. Just a little bit easier for me this way, and that's the finished card. I hope that you enjoyed this video and kind of learned how to do watercoloring. Thank you for watching. Bye!